Hi Nima, it's Thursday, April 5th, 2012, and you are watching The Four of Us.
Sorry about the mess.
Why don't you pound snow, doll?
Gotta keep a low profile.
They'll be watching The Four of Us.
You didn't want PI, you want some pastry to pin it on.
I killed him!
I got a haircut! In other, more interesting news, I was applying for summer and fall classes recently, and like any even moderately experienced college student, I of course checked Rate My Professor before signing up for anything. For those of you who are not familiar with RateMyProfessor.com, it's a website where students can go to write reviews about professors so that other students can check up on the professors and decide whether or not to take the course based on the reviews that the professor got. Although I can never know for sure, I like to think that Rate My Professor has assisted me in dodging several academic bullets. I basically don't sign up for classes until after I've done a background check on the professor and made sure that they didn't get like 5 sad faces and angry reviews saying the professor was biased or racist or unhelpful, generally unpleasant, or just had really bad BO. Generally, I based my choice of professor on how many chili peppers they got at RateMyProfessor.com. It's all about priorities. What I've noticed on this website is that professors are generally rated to a pattern. If the review has all or mostly smiley faces, and people are typing out really well-written reviews saying that the class was challenging but the professor paid attention to students and knew how important it was to have a one-on-one relationship with every individual, then the class is probably really good, you'll learn a lot, and you just have to be academically motivated. If the reviews are all mediocre, then the professor probably wasn't that great but didn't grade too harshly, so whatever. If the reviews are all really bad, then the professor's probably really bad. If the professor has a chili pepper, you should strongly consider taking that class regardless of whatever the reviews say. If the professor has 2 chili peppers, then he's probably a Harrison Ford lookalike who carries a whip and saves the world in his spare time, and you should definitely take that class. Definitely. Now, within these really consistent views, there's usually 1 or 2 dunce caps who will post an opposing opinion and make you question the validity of the remainder of the reviews. Do not be perturbed, I have this pattern figured out as well. If the professor got mainly really awesome reviews, lots of smiley faces and chili peppers, and then just 1 really awful review that brings down the whole morale, first look for grammatical and spelling errors in this review. If there are lots of them, then this student is probably just dumb or slacked off through the class and doesn't want to admit it. If the majority of the views are pretty good, but then there's 1 or 2 well-written complaints against the professor, then the class is probably good, the professor's probably good, but you have to know going into the class that it's going to be your difficult class of the semester. Basically, you're gonna have to bust your keister to do a good job. Now, if you have the opposite situation and most of the reviews are really bad, lots of sad faces, and this professor sucked, spelled correctly. And then there's 1 really bright, sunny, awesome review. It was probably written by someone who used a lucky scrunchie to pass the class. Luckily, for those of you who didn't catch that reference, that means you're probably not old enough to see the movie, in which case it's a good thing that you didn't understand the joke. So, Benny and the professor, I know that you're already taking classes at colleges, even though you're still in high school. What do you do when your brothers are geniuses? But never stop using Rate My Professor. It will save your academic life one day. Alright, that's all for today. Bye Sarah, bye Lily. B, I will see you on Tuesday.